We'll certainly get them on the show. You've got station manager Five Hands, does a fantastic show. Flatbush homegrown, basically plays homemade tunes that all us boys have made. You should certainly check that out. There's plenty of podcasted versions. Just go to Telefunk and Radio. Remember, there's the merchandise you can purchase. Purchandise. Purchase dice. You can purchase the merchandise. Some great TF Radio merchandise, mugs and plates and notebooks and that sort of stuff hanging out. So, we talked a little bit earlier on in the last show about the concept of linguistic determinism. Maybe a difficult concept to get your head round, but I'm going to notch it up. I'm going to ratchet it up just a little bit. And I'm going to talk about something called hard determinism. So, hard determinism, the concept of hard determinism, it's kind of a form of fate, but it transcends fate. What hard determinism is that there is no such thing as a conscious decision, in so much as that if you were a billiard ball and a billiard ball hits you, you have no choice over the matter. You move, and you move according to the rules of physics. Billiard balls on a table don't have any choice over what they do. Neither do humans. Consciousness and conscious thought and free will is just a mask over the top of that billiard ball principle. Since the Big Bang started, you had no choice as to whether you were going to eat a burger tonight. It was going to happen regardless. And an experiment was done not too long ago where a guy got people to look at a screen and press a button when they thought, when something popped up. And they ran this experiment and they found that the part of your brain that decides to move your arm to press the button activates before the conscious thought part of your brain thinks about it and registers it. So your body acts before your consciousness catches up. What are the implications of that? Well, the implications of that are there's no such thing as choice, which means if someone murders a man, much like the billiard ball falling in the pocket, that person who murders a man had no choice. The second the Big Bang happened and the universe came into existence, he was destined for that to happen. So he is not responsible for his actions. His body did it before his brain thought about it. Much like the Matrix, but not the Matrix, that's a shit example. Your brain is kidding you that you can choose to do what you want to do. Big, heavyweight implications. So, wow, that's a boost. The big boost is when you have one of my pieces of equipment is now making that tone. Ah. Ah, there we go. There we go. Big raise goes out to the Laos in the chat room. Keenan and Ballantyne listening in. Really glad to have you on board with the show, boys. Right, let's have a look at something else. I'm gonna have a little look at my Korg Electribe here, and I'm gonna try and rock out. What's that? Oh no, there's so many weak tunes on this. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's the Logic session. Yo. Yo. Raise up your status. All the listeners listening in. session. Big raise to the Dougie. Raising up Dougie. Dougie. Big raises to everyone in the chat room listening in. This is getting me well thrilled up inside the venue. So I wanted to talk a little bit. Let me get a sinister background noise. That's perfect. Right, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Demon Core. The Demon Core is one of my favourite things. The Demon Core is a big ball of plutonium about the size of a football that was made sometime in the 60s during the beginning of the Cold War. It was just a massive lump of plutonium, but it was just smaller than the size it needed to be to go into critical mass. And they used to do experiments with this Demon Core before, as they were developing nuclear weapons. And in one particular incident, there were two deadly incidents with the Demon Core. One of which, there was some scientists stood around in a laboratory with the Demon Core with a shield. I think it was a beryllium shield. There was pretty much the indent of a football in the top on two halves. So it made a metal shield all the way around it. Now, if you completely surrounded the Demon Core with this metal shield, it would go into criticality. So this one chap, there were 7 people in the room, and this one scientist was stood there, and he had the shield, 2 parts, the top and bottom parts of the shield separated, being held apart just by a screwdriver. He got distracted, and he let go of the screwdriver, and the lid of the Demon Core landed on the bottom of the lid of the Demon Core, and for a split second, the Demon Core went into criticality. Now, all anyone saw was a silent blue flash around the Demon Core, and the scientist smashed the top of the Demon Core away immediately to stop it going into criticality. But everyone who was present in the room felt like a warm wave through their body and a metallic taste in their mouth. After 24 hours of blood transfusions, they couldn't save the scientist in the room and 2 of the other scientists because they'd taken like 25,000 times the lethal dose of radiation in that split second. They did a complete bone marrow and blood transfusion on the scientist, but he died slowly and painfully while his family were at his bedside. That's the Demon Core. Raisey Raise, Telefunken Radio. Raise. Big shout goes out to all the listeners tonight. We're wrapping up the show any minute now. Remember to check out the Telefunken Radio Facebook page. Make sure you listen to all the other podcasts. Get on there, leave some comments, tell your friends, listen up, listen in. Logic session coming back next week. Big raise.